A possible issue of bias on the part of Judge Piet Koen could see him recuse himself from presiding over the arms deal trial involving money paid to former President Jacob Zuma. It comes after arguments by the state prosecutor Billy Downer on Monday that the court made a ruling that the case get underway with no further postponements. Instead, Koen returned to the High Court in Pietermaritzburg today to ask for there to be consideration made over whether he should recuse himself. Ziyanda Ngcobo was there.
In what was expected to be a ruling on whether or not the trial should proceed, Judge Piet Koen flipped the script and has asked the legal teams to file written submissions on whether they believe he's the right person to make this decision. This is because the current direct leave to appeal at the Constitutional Court is dealing with whether or not to overturn Koen's earlier judgment, which did not remove Downer as the lead prosecutor. There's also now the private prosecution brought against Downer and a journalist by Zuma.
These developments have brought into sharp focus whether it is proper that I decide one or more of these issues, including eventually also issues such as whether Mr. Zuma will receive a constitutionally fair trial at the end of the day.
Koen has asked the legal teams to send applications on whether they believe he's the right person to preside over the matter.
The following order is therefore accordingly granted. 1. The trial is adjourned to 30 January 2023. 2. The parties are requested to submit any written submissions they may wish to place before the court as to whether the presiding judge should continue to preside in the trial or recuse himself, which they may wish to advance, to the registrar on or before 3 November 2022. 3. On the basis that the accused undertake to appear on any subsequent date to which the trial is thereafter adjourned, Mr. Zuma and the representative of Thales are excused from attendance on the 30th of January 2023.
Legal expert Mpumelelo Zigalala says there may be a way to manage this administratively without further delays to the start of the trial beyond 2023.
I do believe, though, that there may be a solution to the problem that they are finding now of separating the two proceedings and saying that pre-trial proceedings must then be handled by another judge, and when it gets to the merits, let a fresh judge who's going to sit in and listen on the matter and say, I'm fresh on the bench. And make it a full bench if you have to. I'm fresh on the bench. I'm going to listen to evidence as it comes in. All the preliminary issues that's been taking place were not decided by me. My mind has not been affected by anything, has not been tainted by anything. I'm simply here to hear the merits. State, you can start with your matter. Defense, you can provide evidence which disputes that, if it is that will ever get to that particular point in time.
By the end of January 2023, a much clearer picture would have been painted if it's prudent to continue with this arms deal trial or whether it's better to postpone. This is also to take into consideration whether or not the private prosecution which has been brought against Downer and News 24 journalist Karen Maughan will be dismissed when that application is heard on the 8th and 9th of December. If the private prosecution proceeds, this would also have an impact on this matter and whether or not Downer continues to be the lead prosecutor as this matter continues to delay as it enters its second decade now. For Newzroom Afrika on Channel 405, I'm Ziyanda Ngcobo in Pietermaritzburg.